What is good, you guys? Welcome back to the Heat Report. The Miami Heat have won against the New Orleans Pelicans on Christmas Day, 111-98, in a pretty good fashion. And before we even get into the analysis and all that stuff, I just want to remind you guys to make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what your thoughts were on the game, and what you want to see better from the Heat and what you like from the Heat as well. But let's get right into it. We had a very it was a good game. It was a good game against the Pelicans. We started off a bit slow. The Pelicans, got into an early lead, turned the ball over a lot. We turned the ball over a lot, especially in like the first half of the first quarter. But after we cleaned up those turnovers, we ended up taking control of the game for the most part. And as you can see in the stats, it says we only had 17 turnovers, and in the Orlando game I believe we had 22 or 24. So we did clean up some of those turnovers. We shot a lot better from the 3-point range, 43%, a lot better from the field, 51%. Free throws we shot 83%. And the big discrepancy for me was the points off assists. We had 29 assists to their 18, and I think that's what separated the game. A lot of our baskets were assisted, and a lot of theirs were on isolations and individual brilliance, which I'm not really a fan of, because obviously we let Zion get 32 and 14, we let Ingram get 28, but apart from that, we just stifled everyone else. I talked about JJ Redick, how he can go off at times. I think he only hit 1-3, so we did a very good job on him. Avery Bradley deserves a lot of credit for chasing him through those screens. I'm not really a fan of teams that rely on individual brilliance and not a style of ball movement and all that stuff to win games, because it's not sustainable. Like what Brandon Ingram was doing, he started missing shots in the fourth quarter, because a lot of those contested shots he was taking were going in the first half, especially in the third quarter they were going in as well. But it's not sustainable, and I think you saw that in the fourth quarter. Towards the end, they kind of just collapsed because they weren't really able to find a consistent offense. So I think we did a very good job on them for that. As you can see, the title of this video is No Jimmy, No Problem. And I'm not trying to discount Jimmy's importance, because he is our best player in my eyes. I just wanted to see if the guys could pull the win out without him. And we ended up doing that. They made a run in the third quarter, early fourth quarter, but we made a run as well. And we kind of closed it out in a big way towards the end of the fourth. And yeah, I mean, that's basically the overall recap of the game. Let's get right into the player ratings. As you guys know, I'll be rating these players performances out of 10, so 1 out of 10, from 1 through 10, sorry, and 6 is average. And yeah, let's get right into it. Do the starting lineup first. Tyler Hero at point guard. I don't think it was his best game, but I don't think he played terrible. He definitely did clean up some of those turnovers that he did have in the Orlando game. So I thought it was a better game than what he did in the Orlando game, because in the Orlando game he was turning the ball over a lot, but he did clean those up. They were making it really hard on him, because every time he had the ball they were trapping him, sending 2 defenders at him. He was forced to give the ball up. They were trying to get it out of his hands. So for what he did, I'll give him a solid 6 out of 10. I'll give him a pretty average score, because it wasn't really too special, but it wasn't terrible from him either. So 6 out of 10 for Tyler Hero. Moving on to Duncan Robinson. I think he was our best player last night, or last afternoon I should say, because the game was played at 12. But he had 23 points, 5 rebounds. He had 12 itself in the first quarter. I thought he was our best player. I'm gonna give Duncan an 8 out of 10. Very good performance from Duncan. Maybe 8 or 9. You guys can take your pick. Yeah, probably 9. 8.5, I guess. 8.5 out of 10 for Duncan, because 23 points, 5 rebounds. He hit a lot of threes. Duncan is just a guy that on any given night he can go off, and you just don't know. The Pelicans lost him a few times, and 1 or 2 threes is all it needs for him to get going, and he got going in a big way. It helped us a lot. And yeah, Duncan 8.5 out of 10 for me. Jimmy, I can't really give him, anything too high because he only played the first half. We'll see what the, injury update on his, right ankle is. I think he's going to be day to day. It was just an ankle stiffness. If you guys remember, he did sprain his ankle or roll his ankle in the Orlando game, but he did play the full game. So I think it's probably some after effects after that game that probably carried on to this game. I'm going to give him a solid 6. I don't really think he was at fault for anything, but I can't give him anything higher because he didn't play. He didn't play past the first half, so 6 out of 10 for me. Bam Adebayo, another very good performance from Bam. He's just a guy he's gonna stuff the stat sheet without really you noticing. He's just kind of like an octopus out there. He just moves in slow motion, but I keep saying this about Bam. It's like he's moving in slow motion, but he's just so effective. Big part of why we're successful. I'm gonna give him a 7.5. I'm gonna give him a 7 or 7.5. Very good game for Bam. Goran Dragic, not Goran Dragic. Myers Leonard. I don't know why I said Goran Dragic. We'll get to Dragic after this. Myers Leonard. I think Myers Leonard had a good game. He only played 20 minutes. Solid 6 out of 10. He hit 3 threes. He is a liability on the defensive end. That's the only problem for Myers. He's a liability on the defensive end, but he hit those 3 threes. Maybe 6 is a little bit generous. I might give him a 5.5, but I don't think he had a terrible game, Myers. It's interesting to see if Spo is going to start him against the Bucks. If this is going to be our lineup, because if it is, it'll be interesting. We'll see what he does. Goran Dragic, 18 points, 9 assists, 2 rebounds, 7.5 out of 10 for me. Was probably our second or third best player. I think he was our second best player behind Duncan. Off the bench, I predict that he's gonna win 6th man of the year because what he's doing right now is absolutely incredible. Like he just sets the tempo. He knows how to run an offense. He's an actual point guard. Like I'm not throwing a shot at Tyler Hero, but it's gonna take him a while for him to learn that point guard role. But Goran is already pretty experienced at that point guard position, so he knows how to run an offense. He can throw passes. He can score at will. He just kind of took over at times, and he was just a very, he's a guy that can, at times be a third all-star for us when we need one, and it's so valuable to have him on the court. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a 7.5 out of 10, maybe even an 8. Actually, I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. Precious Achiuwa, amazing game for Precious off the bench. I'll give him a 7. I think he did a very good job, especially defensively on Zion. He played very good defense on Zion. Zion wasn't really getting that much against him, and it's just a testament to his versatility. He's a very versatile player. What's more to say about Precious? He just looks like a Bam. He looks like Bam 2.0 on the bench. Like I don't want to compare him to Bam, but he just plays like how Bam did in his rookie year. Just like an athletic guy who's gonna rim run, play defense, physical. And eventually I want him and Bam to start, but maybe it's not now because it's very early. But I want him and Bam to start eventually. Andre Iguodala, 6 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Like I said, he's not a guy that you're gonna look at the box score and say, wow, what a game. But he's just a guy that just does a little bit of everything. Iguodala is just not, it's not the best game for him, but it's not. Iguodala is never gonna have a terrible game. He's always gonna impact the stat sheet at some point. His defense, I think, was top notch as always. So I'm gonna give him a 6. I think he did a very good job, Iguodala, off the bench, and he's just a veteran. It's just so useful to have a guy like that who's just a Swiss Army knife, can do a little bit of everything. Knocked down 2 threes for us as well. So good game for Iguodala off the bench. Mo Harkless, our last player on the player ratings, didn't really get into the game. I don't really know what's the thing with Mo. Like I'm just trying to figure out like where he's gonna fit in this team. He's not a stretch big to me. I don't know. I don't think he's a stretch big. He can shoot the 3, but he's not a Jay Crowder from the 3-point range. He's more of a slasher than Jay Crowder is, but he's not a guy who's gonna stretch the floor as well as Jay Crowder did. So it's just about him finding his spots. And I'm gonna give him a 5 because I mean I don't really think he did anything like too crazy, but I don't think he did anything terrible. He didn't score at all. He didn't really do much. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. And that's gonna wrap it up for me, guys. Very interesting game for us, and hopefully we can carry out this momentum against the Bucks. Bucks is gonna be a tough game, man. The Bucks are gonna be a tough game. We got to bring the same intensity against the Bucks. Hopefully Jimmy can play well against the Bucks as well. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.